to another video here at Paul Sawyer Public Library. My name is Grace, and today we are going to be making our very own Animal Crossing keychains. So we are going to get started. In your kit, you will have had an instruction sheet, a cutout to cut out your recipe cards for this craft. You will have had a sheet that has a leaf, a bell, a bag of bells and fossils from Animal Crossing. You will have received a piece of shrink paper, and at the top there'll be 3 holes where we're going to use this in a bit to make our keychain. You will have also received 4 of these little rings. These are called jump rings, and we're going to use these to attach to our keychain here in a minute. You received a keychain ring so you can have your keychain, a little bitty eye hook like that, and then the world's cutest and smallest bottle, just like that, with a little cork on top. So that is what you received for this program. What you're gonna actually need is you're gonna need a pair of scissors, some kind of pliers. We're gonna be using pliers in a minute to open up our jump rings to attach our pieces of our keychain together. You will also need some Sharpies or any kind of permanent marker to outline and draw your next portion of your keychain onto the shrink wrap paper. So that is a little bit about that. And then one other thing you're going to need is we are going to be using the oven for this craft. It is completely optional. If you don't want to add the shrink wrap pieces, you can just do this craft. It is perfectly cute just as a bottle. These are just kind of like an added fun. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, so my first step is going to be, I'm going to cut out 2 of these recipe cards and I'm going to glue them together. And these little recipe cards are going to go inside your bottle. Because in Animal Crossing New Horizons, every day a bottle appears on your island and you get a free recipe. So that's kind of what this keychain is going to replicate. Put that out. All right, and my next step, I'm going to glue those together with a glue stick. Just like that. So then you got it on each side. So when it's rolling around, you can see there's not like a blank side to it. So next, I'm gonna take off my cork and I'm gonna kind of curve my paper like that. And I'm going to place it inside my jar. And if you want, you can use like your pliers to kind of poke it in and balance it out. Kind of curls, you can kind of flatten it out. I noticed mine was kind of curling when I first put it in, but as it dries, it kind of flattens out more. You can also take like a skewer stick or a popsicle stick or toothpick to really smooth that out, but it should dry in a little bit and flatten out. So the next step, I am going to add just a little bit of glue stick to my cork like this to kind of help seal my bottle. You can use, if you want to use super glue, you can. I found I didn't need this. I didn't need super glue, and the bottle will hold on its own. Like the cork will hold on its own. Like you don't need to add glue, but I just added just to feel a little more safe. And I'm gonna smoosh that guy in just like that. So then I got my little bottle. The next thing I'm gonna do, on your eye hook, there's these little screw lines, and you're gonna find the center of your bottle and you're gonna screw in the eye hook. You're gonna kind of poke and then twist your bottle in. Or twist the eye hook into your cork. And you want to do it until it feels pretty snug and tight, like that. So you want to do your best to get it right in the center for the next step. So we got that right there. And now that is ready to go for our last stage, when we will attach the keychain and our 3 shrinky dinks to our bottle. All right, our next step, we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna do the next fun part. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be tracing all 3 of these across. If you only want like one of these, you can do just one. I'm gonna do all 3 because I think it's gonna be really fun and colorful, but yeah. And we'll get started. So all you need to do for this, it's really easy. Going back to kindergarten, we're gonna put this clear paper on top. We're gonna align it to cover our picture. And we're gonna come through with our permanent markers and Sharpies. We're gonna just trace on top. So we're just gonna draw on top of the picture. All right, I finished coloring, and now I'm going to cut each of these out and place them on my tray to bake in the oven. So you'll notice that there's a hole punch. That is for when this shrinks down, you're gonna have a hole to put through your jump ring to put on your keychain. So I'm gonna cut around the edge of my object, like to cut this out. All right. Just like that. So I'm gonna cut out the last 2 of these and I'm gonna place them on I'm using a conventional oven. You can use just your oven at home if you don't have a smaller oven. Just put it on a cookie tray at home, and then you're gonna put your brown paper bag down, and then you're going to, on top, put your 3 shrinky dink drawings of your Animal Crossing symbols for your keychain. So I'm gonna finish cutting these out. I'm gonna bake them in my oven, and then we're gonna come back and we are going to finish this project. So I'll see you in a minute. All right, friends, we are back to finish our keychain today. So I just took these out of the oven. You can see they shrunk down a ton. So they're like tiny. So I put this in at 325 for about 2 minutes. I don't think it needs much longer than that. The instructions say 3 to 5 minutes, so it may depend on your oven time. And yeah, so just keep that in mind that it may be adjusted. So now we are ready to bring our whole keychain together. And my little rings here. So I have my 4 jump rings for my 3 shrinky dink symbols, and then I got my keychain. So now I'm gonna use my pliers. In this part, you may need a grown-up's help if you are not great with pliers. So you're gonna hold your plier and you're gonna pull this apart to open up your ring just a little bit. So you can kind of bend it, you can pull with your hand. And you want just enough room on there that you can slide on your keychain So I'm going to slide on my keychain. You may have to adjust it as you go along. So what I did there is I went with the plier and it was like this, and I just pulled it to the side like that to open that up, like that. So now I'm going to slide on my keychain like that. And then I'm going to slide on my bottle, and then I'm going to pinch it together. So all those pieces are attached. So after you do that, there you go. You got your keychain on there. So if this is the step you want to stop at, I think it's perfectly cute. You can take this and you can put on a keychain. But if you added on your extra pieces, we're going to do that next. So I'm going to do the same thing 3 times and just add it to this keychain here. I have it on there. Take my pliers, I'm just going to pinch it back together. And I will say pliers sometimes have a learning curve, so don't feel too frustrated if it takes you a second to figure it out. All right, and then I'm going to add my next ring on here. And where I'm attaching to the jump ring that I used to attach to the keychain, to bring those all together. This is where you're gonna be a little more creative. If you wanna move like your keychain up or keychain down, you can kind of find the spot that you want it to look on your keychain. Ooh, that fell off. Maybe, actually, I'm going to come up 1 ring to give that some space. See, we're learning as we go. That's on there. I'm ready to attach. All right, so I got 2 of 3. Now I'm ready to add my bell bag. All right, and so now I'm going to come up 1 more ring to add my final bell bag, like that. And then I'm just going to pinch it together. All right, I've added my final ring, and there you go. There's your keychain. So cute. So if you like doing this activity, feel free to share with us pictures of your keychain on Facebook, and we hope to see you next time. If you found this video, like you had more questions and it was confusing, feel free to email me at grace@pspl.org. And also it does have very, very good instructions. So I got this from another library. They were so kind to share with us so we could spread more fun around. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time at the library. Bye!